Welcome to Legends and Cryptids, where today we're diving into a creature that has haunted the city of Detroit for centuries, the infamous Red Dwarf. This tiny, mischievous being is said to be a bringer of chaos, appearing right before calamities and tragedies strike. But where did this eerie legend begin? Could a small, goblin-like creature really hold the power to shape the fate of an entire city? Let's unravel the mystery of the Red Dwarf of Detroit and discover why some believe this cryptid might still lurk in the shadows, waiting for its next appearance. Now, legends of the Red Dwarf, or Nain Rouge as the locals call it, go back as far as the early French settlers of the 1700s. French colonists claimed that this little red creature was a warning of doom. From its fiery red face to its pointed teeth and blazing eyes, the creature would show up, wreak havoc, and then vanish just as quickly, leaving devastation in its wake. Some stories suggest that it was a punishment sent by the gods, while others speak of it as a guardian spirit turned rogue. The Nain Rouge is tied deeply to the history of Detroit. During the city's early days, founder Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac reportedly had a fateful encounter with the Red Dwarf. After provoking the creature, it's said that Cadillac's life spiraled into ruin, a curse that some say was caused by this very being. The myth spread quickly, with every major disaster linked to a sighting of the Nain Rouge. Fires, riots, even the decline of the auto industry. Locals whispered that the Red Dwarf was behind it all. It's said that the only way to prevent the Nain Rouge from cursing the city is to drive it away with noise and celebration. That's why every year, Detroit holds a special event called the March du Nain Rouge, where citizens dress up in wild costumes and parade through the streets to chase the evil spirit away. Over the years, there have been numerous reported sightings of the Red Dwarf of Detroit, with each one adding to the mystery. The creature has been spotted before significant moments of turmoil, and those who claim to have seen it describe an unsettling experience. Some even say it haunts their dreams long after the encounter. One of the earliest and most famous sightings was during the Battle of Bloody Run in 1763. Witnesses reported seeing the Nain Rouge near the Detroit River before the battle, a conflict between British forces and Native American tribes. After the battle, the river was said to have run red with blood, adding more fuel to the belief that the creature was an omen of disaster. Fast forward to the early 1800s, several residents claimed to have seen the Red Dwarf days before the Great Fire of 1805, which destroyed nearly the entire city. These sightings were described in letters and local accounts, where people spoke of a small red creature darting between buildings, laughing in a high-pitched, eerie tone. The fire tore through Detroit shortly after, leaving nothing but ashes in its wake. More recently, in the 1967 Detroit riots, some claim to have seen the Nain Rouge in the days leading up to the violent clashes. Descriptions remained consistent, red-skinned, with glowing eyes and an air of malicious glee. People started to connect the dots, believing that whenever Detroit faced disaster, the Nain Rouge had shown up as a grim warning. In one particularly chilling modern encounter, a local historian recounted a personal experience from the late 1990s. While walking alone near downtown at dusk, they saw a small, hunched figure with bright, piercing eyes staring from a rooftop. It vanished almost as soon as it appeared, leaving them with a sense of dread and the unshakable feeling that something terrible was coming. While the sightings of the Red Dwarf are fascinating, skeptics often try to explain away the legend with more grounded theories. Many argue that the Nain Rouge is simply a product of folklore, passed down through generations and exaggerated with each telling. Psychological explanations, such as mass hysteria or collective imagination, offer a plausible reason for why people might see the creature during times of high stress or disaster. After all, the human mind is capable of playing tricks, especially when fear and uncertainty are at play. Some researchers suggest that misidentified wildlife could be responsible for some sightings. Detroit, like many urban areas, has its share of nocturnal animals, and the Nain Rouge's description, small, quick, and darting through shadows, could easily match a raccoon or a fox glimpsed at night. Add in Detroit's old, dimly lit streets, and it's not hard to see how someone could mistake a fleeting animal for something more sinister. Other historians believe the Nain Rouge legend was deliberately spread as a way to explain and cope with the numerous hardships the city faced over the centuries. From devastating fires to economic collapse, Detroit has had more than its share of tragedies. The Red Dwarf serves as a kind of scapegoat, a supernatural explanation for very real human problems. Instead of confronting complex societal or economic factors, people may have found comfort in blaming an otherworldly entity for their misfortunes. And while some eyewitness reports seem credible, many remain inconclusive, with little evidence beyond personal testimony. Science leans toward these rational explanations, though it hasn't completely erased the lingering fear and fascination that the Nain Rouge evokes in Detroit's collective imagination. For those who aren't satisfied with scientific explanations, alternative theories about the Red Dwarf of Detroit take a more paranormal turn. Some believe that the Nain Rouge isn't just a myth, but a genuine supernatural entity, perhaps a demon or an ancient spirit tied to the land itself. According to this view, the creature is a guardian of the area, but one that became vengeful or twisted over time, lashing out at the people of Detroit for disrupting its territory. There are also theories rooted in conspiracy, with some claiming that the Red Dwarf is part of a larger pattern of cryptids or paranormal activity connected to disasters. These theorists argue that certain places around the world, Detroit being one of them, are hotspots for supernatural events, where strange creatures and occurrences seem to cluster around times of upheaval. In this sense, the Nain Rouge might not be an isolated case, but rather part of a wider phenomenon. Some even speculate that the Nain Rouge could be an extraterrestrial being, its small size and glowing red eyes reminiscent of alien descriptions from other encounters. According to this theory, what people have been witnessing for centuries could be visits from another world, with the creature's appearances marking significant disruptions in human history as part of some unknown agenda. However, while these theories capture the imagination, they remain speculative and controversial. There's little hard evidence to support the idea of the Nain Rouge as a demon, alien, or interdimensional being. But for those who believe, the Red Dwarf is much more than just a myth. It's a force beyond human understanding, one that continues to shape Detroit's fate in mysterious ways. So, is the Red Dwarf of Detroit a real entity, or just an enduring myth? The evidence remains tantalizing yet inconclusive. On one hand, historical sightings and legends are filled with eerie consistency, with numerous testimonies over centuries describing the same small, mischievous creature appearing before calamities. This persistence keeps the legend alive and fuels the belief that something might indeed be lurking in the shadows of Detroit. On the other hand, scientific explanations suggest that the Nain Rouge could be nothing more than folklore, a symbol of Detroit's hardships, or simply a misinterpretation of natural events and wildlife. With no definitive proof, no captured photos, physical evidence, or credible scientific support, the existence of the Red Dwarf remains shrouded in mystery. What we do know is that the legend of the Nain Rouge has become a powerful symbol for the people of Detroit, a way to connect with their city's history and confront its struggles. Whether it's a warning spirit, a demonic presence, or just an urban legend, the Red Dwarf story has endured for centuries, keeping the mystery alive. So, what do you think? Could the Nain Rouge be real, or is it just a cautionary tale born out of fear and imagination? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're curious about more cryptid mysteries, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep an eye out. You never know when a cryptid might show up in your own city. If you're fascinated by the Red Dwarf of Detroit and want to explore more cryptid mysteries from around the world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're just getting started uncovering legends, sightings, and secrets that will leave you questioning what might be lurking out there. Leave a comment below if you've ever heard of or experienced anything strange yourself, whether it's the Nain Rouge or any other mysterious creatures. We'd love to hear your stories. And don't forget, next time we'll be diving into another cryptid that's just as chilling and mysterious. Thanks for watching Legends and Cryptids. Until next time.